Hey, welcome back. I don't even really know what this video is going to be about. I just want to post like every day, and I have some things on my mind. The plan, the ideal. Talked about it a little bit on my Instagram, and I wanted to flesh out my thoughts here a little bit more. There's also a video I can come back to compare reality, in the future. But I feel like the kind of life that I want to live is a life that's attainable for everyone. And then I want to show people that having that life is attainable, realistic, easy, and you don't need to work so hard. I feel like everybody's chasing the bag or just always working for money and not thinking about life and why we even live life and what is life supposed to be? What is living? Living is right now. Living is me making this video. Living is you watching this video. Everything that you do with every second, every minute of your day is living. So, sometimes I get caught up in this mentality of like, man, I need to start living my life. No, there, you're always living your life. Your life is always being lived. It never stops being lived until you stop living. And, but how can you live a life that you like, I guess, is the next logical step. How can you live a fulfilling life? A life where you feel like you're actually living, where you feel alive, where you're not just living. And, I feel like most of my day is pretty awesome. Most of my day, every day, is pretty awesome. I spend my time, working out, learning languages, walking around in nature, reading. And then I have different events throughout the week like karaoke, Latin dancing, so like bachata, salsa. I live in a place that has mountains that I can go hiking. It's got a beach, and that is annoying. That's my. let me pause really quick and come back. Sorry, that was my alarm on my phone telling me I have Korean class at 10 a.m. So yeah, I live in a place that has access to the mountains, to beaches, so I can go swimming whenever I want. I can go hiking whenever I want in multiple different locations. I can walk to the supermarket. I'm not in the middle of the city, but I'm in the city, so I can pretty much walk or take public transportation wherever I need to go. And some people would say that I'm living in paradise. Well, except for like the Four Seasons. Some people they don't like Four Seasons, and it's only paradise if it's hot year round. But I live a great life. And still, I'm just like, oh, am I living? Am I living? And I feel like it comes down a lot of the time to the actions that I take and to moving towards it actually living that life. Like if you wrote out your perfect day and then you had the opportunity to live that perfect day, but you didn't take any of the actions or perform any of the things that were on your perfect day list, then your perfect day can't happen. So if in your perfect day if let's say you're in the location you want to be in, and then you say I wake up and I work out. But let's say you wake up, money's not an issue, and you don't work out. You're not fulfilling your perfect day. So fulfilling your perfect day still takes effort. And, I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize, that let's say I give you $1 million. It, it's not like you can just live a fulfilling life immediately. Living a fulfilling life takes a lot more than money. And so people are just spending their whole lives chasing money, when really what I think they want is a fulfilling life. And I don't think a fulfilling life takes a lot of money. So then, how much does a fulfilling life cost? I think it depends where you live, obviously, cost of living, because you got to have, we got to start at the base of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is, shelter, food, and water, and clothing. And once we have those covered, which, that could be a lot of money or a little bit of money, then we just go up the pyramid from there. And I think that's really what I'm focusing on. Like, what's that minimum amount of money that you need where you still feel secure mentally, you feel satisfied in your life, and you're able to perform the actions that you want to make every day as close to the perfect day as possible. And now that can include long-term things like, oh, I go on vacation once or twice a year, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't have to be just a daily thing. But, most of your life is spent in the day-to-day. I would say maybe all of your life, actually. And so, yeah, if we focus on that day-to-day and then add those things in, we'll be fine. But yeah, if you had $1 million, I'm not sure that you would be any happier than I am. Or at least, in the long run. Maybe for the first 3 months, definitely. But once things calm down and you just got used to the money and stuff, what's the difference? Like, you bought a house and I'm renting. Your house is 500 square meters and mine is 100 square meters. You have a car and I don't, because I'd rather take public transportation and I don't want to have to deal with parking. I was watching this movie one time, or maybe a TV show, and I'd been having these thoughts, the whole day. And then in the movie, either the people are rich or they go to like a rich person's party or something like that. And I hit up my friend and I was just like, see, the rich and the poor are the same. They both go to parties, they both go to work, what's the difference? You got friends, you don't got friends, you work out, you don't work out. Like, the money doesn't really make the difference. There's a certain amount of money that you need, but after that, it's really not even worth it to try to make more money. And so I feel like I want to set that example. And I'm always telling people, oh, I make enough money. But I feel like if I was living the life that I wanted to live, that I wouldn't even need the amount of money that I'm making right now. Because where does all of that money go? All of that money goes to my vices. Or to not even vices, just oh, let me buy this new fitness product. Let me buy this new fitness course. Just crazy things like that. Let me check out this language learning app on the Google Play Store, or let me check out this language learning program or something like that. And that's fine and dandy, but I only do those things because I'm bored. And if you saw my Instagram post, my Instagram reel yesterday, 2 days ago, I think it was yesterday, I said, boredom is a trap and it leads to drama-seeking behavior. And drama-seeking behavior is this this splurging behavior, this binge eating behavior, this I'm spending money that I don't need to. Like it's buying things that I could get at the library. That type of stuff. Because I don't want to put in a little extra work, a little extra effort. I don't want to design my own fitness program, so I'll buy somebody else's, even though I have years of experience doing different fitness modalities, and I know how to use different fitness tools, I know how to use my body, I know all these different exercises. YouTube has access to everything. And like, I know how to break things down, so even if the person is not teaching the move, which you can probably find a person teaching the movement that you want to do, I'd still like rather buy the course because I'm like, oh, only the best for me. And I think that, and here's the crazy thing, that actually takes away from living, takes away from feeling alive, because you took the easy road. You just, let me directly access that information instead of like, oh, I want to learn this new type of fitness modality, or these, I see like 1 or 2 or 3 people talking about this thing in fitness. Let me see what I can find and let me experiment with it, and then not buy anything. It's like I'll immediately go and try to find a course or something like that. And it's showing myself, I guess, that I don't trust myself. It's taking away the fun. It's like buying a piece of IKEA furniture and then paying for somebody else to come over and build it for you. At the end of the day, you get the piece of furniture, but you don't get the satisfaction of having built it. And yes, it would have taken extra time. But if you're not working to make money all the time, you have the extra time. And you don't know what to do with that time, so you may as well spend that time doing something like this that you want to do anyways. So I feel like it's a virtuous cycle. It's a virtuous loop. If you're not working for money all the time, you have extra time. And if you have extra time, you don't need to spend money on these things. And then you get the satisfaction of doing something yourself, creating something yourself, making something yourself. You learn deeper because you probably go through some mistakes, so you probably learn slower, but you're also learning how to learn, which I have been blessed in my life to have gone through Arthur Murray dance training. And that's, if you don't know, that's a ballroom dance company in America and Canada, and maybe they have some places in other parts of the world. But I taught ballroom dance for a little bit, and a lot of my training was just having to break down and analyze steps and videos and figure it out myself. So like, I got really good at figuring things out myself. Now I know not everybody has that background, but by doing that more, you will get the same kind of mindset, not even mindset, but like abilities that I have to break things down in whatever area we're talking about. You know, if you're a do-it-yourself, like, oh, let me fix things around the house, the first project you do is probably going to go terribly. But by the 10th one, you're going to know what you're looking for. You're going to, like, I would say that's 80%. You know what you're looking for, you know? And so if you know what you're looking for, it's a lot easier and faster to find it. And with your experience, you've probably already, there's not that many different things, right? It's just like, oh, I already know how to do this 50%. I'm just learning the other 50% that I didn't know for this one project. So you see that virtuous cycle. Let's go forward. Yeah. That virtuous cycle. You're not working for money all the time, so you have time. So you're able to spend time on things that you think are important, that excite you, that you would rather do than work. And if you don't do that, you're just going to be bored out of your mind. So you're kind of being pushed in that direction. And now let's talk about boredom, because, if you start living your life this way, there will be a lot of free time. And you need to figure out what to do with that free time. And it can become overwhelming. And I think that might be another reason that people just say, let me just work, let me try to make money, hustle culture, have 2 or 3 different jobs, because they wouldn't know what to do otherwise. I'll work till 65 and then I'll retire and I'll have a bunch of money. But nobody thinks about what they're going to do at 65. I mean, that's a fine plan, but even at 65, would you be like, now I don't know what to do? Nobody ever thinks about these things. What do you want to do with your time? And can you access those things for free? I feel like the most fulfilling things in life you can access for free. Not that I do. I'm saying that's the kind of example that I want to start setting, because I don't see anybody else out here doing it. I see really famous YouTubers who are living simple lifestyles or whatever, but that they're making 20 grand a month, 50 grand a month, millions of dollars every year. And they're not just giving that money away. I want to be so convicted in this that that when I get to the point in my life that I feel like I'm really fulfilled in stuff, which, okay, let me continue and then we'll go back to that point. That I'm just any extra money I make, I'm just giving it away because I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't want that temptation in my life to not fulfill myself by just buying my way into things. Think about going to a restaurant. I got to check the time here. Okay. I have that Korean class at 10. You pay them to take your order, deliver that order to the cooks in the back, for the cooks to cook the food, and for them to bring you your food, and then for them to, at the end of the meal, to take the dishes away and clean those dishes for you. So what did that money get you? I would argue that money got you a less satisfactory experience. I mean, unless you were at a Michelin 3-star restaurant and it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, or you're sitting at the top of, the Space Needle in Seattle, and you got this amazing view. But most people are not doing that on the day-to-day. When people go to a restaurant, it's just because they don't feel like cooking or whatever, or they're ordering food. And in the ordering food scenario, you get it in containers you can throw away, so you just throw those away, still no cleanup. But I would argue that that's a less satisfactory experience than having to go to the store, pick out your own food, feel it with your hands, look at it, judge it, and be like, this is the one that I want. Go home, and if you're within walking distance, walking there and walking back and carrying, not a super heavy bag, but a bag full of stuff. It's not like you're just walking around. And then later that day, or maybe the next day if you bought food for 2 days or whatever, cutting up what you need to cut, making a sauce or a marinade, putting the spices on stuff that you like, cooking it, which takes time, plating it for yourself, eating it, and then having to clean up the dishes, take the extra food, put it into some containers, and then clean up the pots and pans. I would say that's a more satisfactory experience. You got to go out there into the world. You got to make decisions. You got to judge. And you got to create and make something with your own hands. You got to use your mind and your creativity. Maybe you had to go look up a recipe. Maybe you tried something new. Maybe it was the same thing that you cook all the time, but we'll get to repetition in a second. You got to eat something that you made with your own hands. And then the dishes were there, and you got to make something dirty clean again. And you got to take that food that was out and put it into containers and put it in your fridge. You got to organize something and then make the pots and pans clean, make something dirty clean again. How fulfilling of an experience is that? And you want to pay somebody to take that experience away from you. That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's easy. I feel like this is all so clear. Like you go out to the bar to drink. What are you paying for? You're paying for them to mix a drink for you. You drink it, and then they take the cup away and clean the cup. Let's say you only had one, Wouldn't you rather mix that drink at the proportions that you would like at your own house? Oh, but there's people. Invite your friends over. Oh, I don't have any friends. Go outside and invite a stranger into your home like they talk about in those romantic travel movies. Those romanticized travel movies. Oh, I went and I was in the desert and then this person invited me into their tent for tea. Oh, I was in Europe and this grandmother invited me over for lunch. Why can't you do that? You can be that person if you want people around you. Like, you get to mix the drinks in the proportions that you want. Oh, but I don't have that ball ice maker thing. Get one. Then you can make the ice yourself. Oh, but they shave the ice. You can shave the ice. You can learn how to do that. That'd be a cool skill. Like, who can do that? I can't do that. That'd be awesome. We're literally paying people to take away the experience of living from us. We're literally working for money to pay people so that we feel less alive and less fulfilled. Like, is it starting to make sense? And let's say it was a meal that you've made before, you've made 100 times. The great thing about life is that it's set up in such a way that it still takes work to make that meal again. You still have to go to the store, buy the ingredients. You have to check the food. You got to check. If you're buying eggs, you got to check the eggs, You still got to check it. You still got to judge it. You still got to make that decision. You go home. You still have to cut it up. You still have to season it. You still have to cook it. You still eat it. You still have to clean up the plates. You still have to clean up the pots and pans. You still have to put the leftovers away in the fridge. You still get the satisfaction of having hunted and gathered. Of having gone out there with your own 2 legs. Maybe you took your 2 legs and used them to get you into the car if you can't walk. But you went somewhere. You made decisions. You came back. You lived with those decisions. You ate that food. You made that food. And then you cleaned up. You made something dirty clean. Multiple things. You organized. These are all little dopamine hits. I think it's dopamine, not serotonin. Okay, we still got time. Are you understanding what I'm saying? I really think that we're working for money to pay people to take life away from us. Like, how much more satisfaction? Just think about all of the money that you spend to have people do things for you. And think about I'm about to sneeze, not cry. Oh. And think about if you could do that by yourself and if it would actually give you a sense of satisfaction, if it would actually add to your life. And then think about why you pay that other person to do it. Now, if you're like me, what I got to get over is just being lazy. And why am I lazy? Because I've been living this way for a long time. It's more of a habit than laziness. I'm just not used to cooking my own stuff all the time. You know, if we're staying on that example. But I'll tell you my 3 values: honesty, personal responsibility, and personal freedom. And, you know, I feel like with those being my values and this being the way that I see the world, I feel like I really need to step into that and live that, improve it. Because, like I said before, I don't see anybody else doing it. I don't see people who are fit, happy, healthy, and they don't need to make a lot of money. Now, I might change my mind because money is very tempting. Maybe I'll feel insecure and I'm like, oh, I need $1 million a year or else I can't do this. I really hope I don't, though, because this is the way I see the world. And if it's true, if it's real, if it's right, then it's much easier to live a satisfying life than you've been told. All you have to do is actually live your life, not have other people live it for you. What are the things that people pay for to take? What are the things that you pay for so that people take life away from you? Going to restaurants, cleaning your house maybe, working out. Maybe you pay a personal trainer and you don't need to. I think the goal of every personal trainer should be to give their clients enough knowledge where that client doesn't need the personal trainer anymore. That's my goal. You know, if you want training, hit me up. We do different stuff. It's 15, 20 minutes. That's it. Because that's another thing. I think people are overdoing everything, even the good things. People live in excess. But maybe we need to talk about that at a different time. What's that behind me? Oh, it's a towel. Well, let me move that. That looks a little weird. Just put it over here. Even though it's been behind me the whole time. So, yeah. Like, you can do it yourself. And it would probably make your life better than it is right now. Cooking, working out, hanging out with friends. Like, do you have to go to the bar to hang out with your friends? Do you have to go to an event? I feel like that's another thing. You know, we've lost this connection with people. And so we try to fill this void with other things. And one of those things is just spending money. And, you know, this is a message for me too. I want to live this life. And I want to prove it. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, catch you in the next one. Please leave your comments below. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.